From grounded conversations to the rhythm of this city, my name is Moses and welcome to Moussa and Friends. Today is the day that the Lord has made. My name is Moses and welcome to Moussa and Friends. And today we'll start with a Bible verse. Of course, I'll get some help. But there's a Bible verse in the book of Jeremiah whereby the Lord says, He knew us before we were born. So, if God knew you before you were born, what's your purpose? He just didn't bring you here for no good reason. And to help me do that today, who do we have in studio today?
My name is Nathaniel Israel from Youth Violence Conflict Resolution Seminars. Yes, sir.
So tell us more about what it's Y.V.C.R.S. Tell us more about it. Like, what's your mission? What's your goal?
Well, our mission, and it's already being implemented across many different continents. Like you were mentioning, you're from Kenya.
Yes.
We were discussing before. We're over there in Kenya and Africa's abroad, but our main mission is to go to the youth and to be able to build them up, provide them with sustenance, provide them with hope. Because when you go into the communities that we're in, oftentimes we're lacking hope. And then as a result, crime rate, conflict, all that other stuff that goes along with it goes up astronomically as well. So our purpose is to bring it down and provide the brothers and the sisters with a vision, as well as some of the older individuals too.
You've mentioned about hope. What do you think is the one of the main causes of us lacking hope in some of our communities?
Well, one of the can you get me without a vision? As I think Proverbs 22. When we don't have certain visions, right? That's when we perceive that that it's okay to live it in a certain way, to live in a squalor. That's why it's very important for us to have certain people placed in certain roles that have certain positive imagery so that we get hope. We are hopeful. Right? You got it?
Yes, sir. Book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
So when there isn't a vision in Kenya, and we're in Toronto, when there's lacking vision in Toronto, that we think that we only speak like this, like that, our hope plummets. Right? Read?
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Right, but when you get a vision, when you have people that are showing good things happening in the community, like we were discussing before, Ibrahim Tlohi, right? He's doing revolutionary things. The only thing that's missing, that is our power, that makes us catapult and do even more, is just the scriptures to back certain things that he's doing. That's when we don't have hope, we don't have a vision. When we don't have a vision, we don't have hope. And we are here to provide them with that.
To provide the hope.
Via the vision.
So you said hope, then if there's no hope, the people perish. So in some communities, we have even reached the place whereby we're already perishing. Like the situation is very much dire. How do we really come out of that? Like especially as youth, you've said like in some areas we know like there are no like role models for the youth. But how do you come out from that kind of situation whereby we are already perishing?
Well, the first and foremost is you still have leaders in each and every community. It's just oftentimes they're pushed to the side. Right? As a leader, there's certain characteristics as a leader. And when you start to notice them, get for me, was it 1 Timothy 3? When you notice certain characteristics in that leader, right? And you employ them, that's often what will give people that vision. And in all communities, in Kenya, in Toronto, you have Toronto, you, myself, the brothers here, we have the brothers over here, Jamaica, you have leaders. It's oftentimes it's pushed to the side, but read that.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop
is a leader. And the Lord is speaking in a hypothetical tone. He's like, if you desire the role of being a leader, read.
He desireth a good work.
Because all men actually want to be leaders. And a lot of women, like we have a woman in the studio, women look for leaders, irrespective of what people think. They look for it, right? It's just about seeing who those true leaders are. Read.
A bishop then must be blameless.
So we have those people in the community. It's just about sussing them out. Who are those people that are blameless, that are for the community?
Yeah.
Someone's not in their back pocket paying them off, that sort of thing. I don't know if does that answer your question?
It actually answers my questions very well. But how do you get to a point whereby, like we now see, like we've grown up in a society whereby there are people we look forward to, or our leaders, but years down the line, there's some things we can blame them for. Like right now, social media brings out almost everything to the light. There's someone we are looking up forward to, but then down the line, there's something to blame them for. So, I'll give an example of, let's say, like a biblical example, like the story of David. Okay. David wasn't the perfect person, but he was a leader.
Yeah.
Is it right to say we can blame him for like him looking at a lady while he was taking a shower?
Yeah.
He's a leader. He was a king.
Right.
He also led the murder of the lady's husband. How do we live in a society whereby our leaders are also, they're not blameless, but we can blame them?
Well, the thing is that everyone here has spots and blemishes, right? Yeah. What we're supposed to do, as it says in Matthew 5, and as in youth violence, conflict resolutions, is we strive for perfection.
Yeah.
Right? Many of the people, the communities that we go to, guess what? They've done dirt. That's the reason why we're there.
Yeah.
But let's go to answer your question a little bit more strategically. Let's go to Psalms 51. This is going to exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
King David. Give me Psalms 51 and verse 7, and then jump to verse 11. Because you're right. King David, just like a lot of our youth in the community, guess what? They fall into lust.
Yes.
Right now we have what do you call it, Afrofest going on right now. We were just driving by. A lot of women are scantily clad and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Our brothers fall into the temptation and lust, and some of them actually go into the midst of like sleeping with them, right? Yeah. And that brings about what do you call it, confrontation and conflict, because oftentimes that woman might be joined to another man, and then they start squaring up, right? Yeah. So within youth violence conflict resolutions, what we teach is, okay, you abstain. Hebrews 13:4, you find one woman, so you can abstain from all of that conflict. Yeah. But if you've gotten into that conflict and you want to get out of it, right? Read that. This is what King David said.
Chapter 51, verse 7. Purge me with hyssop.
Hyssop.
He was hyssop. And I shall be clean.
So he said, purge me with hyssop so that I might be clean. So the history of this was that, what do you call it? King David, after speaking to Nathan, the prophet, he recognized his wrong. And he said, to do what?
Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow.
He said, okay, I'm going to repent. I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing, lusting after women. Yeah. I need to clean myself up. Read.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me.
So what a lot of people, what a lot of youth in our community don't realize or don't do is they don't recognize they're wrong. Yeah. King David, he said, cast me not away from thy presence. Why did he say that?
Not to leave the presence of God.
Because he did what?
He sinned.
He sinned, right? He went and he took another man's wife. Yeah. And he recognized that error after a brother came and checked him. Yeah. And Nathan came and checked him. He's like, hey, don't cast away from, please don't take that spirit off me. I know what I've done. Read.
Verse 12. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then I will teach transgressors thy ways. So now after I've repented and I've stopped doing that, right? Yeah. I'm now going to be able to, guess what? Go to Jane and Finch, Driftwood, to Galloway, to Calgary, to Edmonton, and teach other young brothers how to abstain, how to refrain from that. That's wisdom.
Interesting. But like I asked before, like, how is it possible? Let's say, it's not an example of King David, but our leaders here, we've already seen all this happening with our leader. How do you develop that trust back? Because David was guided by a prophet. Today, it's not like you meet prophets every day. Our leaders are mostly, not all of them are bishops or follow any kind of religion, but they're just role models. But when their reputation goes down the line, how do you come again now to trust that person again? Or how do I even find someone else to trust? And also, who do I know? Who do I trust as a leader?
Who do you trust? So that's the imperative question. What do you call it? Y.V.C.R.S 37 verse 12. So us as a community, who do we trust?
Yes.
Well, you have to trust. There's certain characteristics. All right. Get Y.V.C.R.S 37 verse 12.
The book of Y.V.C.R.S, chapter 37, verse 12. But be continually with a godly man.
So what the scripture as well as history shows, archaeology shows, is you're supposed to be all the time with a what?
With a godly man.
A godly man. Who is a godly man? What is a godly man?
Yeah.
Read.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
So this is not about religion. A godly man, he takes a look at the law book, because even in here in Ontario and Toronto, we have law books.
Yes.
He takes a look at that law book and, okay, I'm not supposed to hate my brother.
Yeah.
Right? I'm supposed to correct my brother. I'm supposed to have one wife. I'm not supposed to, kill.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to do all these stuff. That's all he does, is he goes to the law. Right?
Yeah.
So a godly man, or a person to trust more so, is a person that thou knowest to do what?
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
So you know to keep the commandments of the Lord. So that's not a one. First and foremost, this person, get Psalms 111 verse 10. This person isn't just keeping, like, okay, let's say, for example, he has a history of sleeping with different women, right? And that's what brought that community down. It's not him going one day abstinent. The scripture says, thou knowest. To know a person, you have to have a pattern of those works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, you have to have a pattern of abstaining from women. Right? Read.
Psalm chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
Right. So a person that has great understanding, that the people are more able to trust, is a person that's a godly man, that's keeping the commandments, and he's getting that wisdom, as it says in Psalms 111 and 10, through the laws and application of the laws.
Interesting. Like you've said, like there's this English quote, iron sharpens iron.
Proverbs 27:17.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we've noticed in some of our societies, it doesn't just go smoothly whereby someone just comes and corrects you and then it just happens like, okay, I'm going to try and change. Most of the times we see correction, it even ends up in violence. What's the best way of iron sharpening iron? How do you approach a brother who you know has been doing some stuff? Or let's say, Moses has been messing up. How do you approach it in a way whereby it won't end up in a very violent way or in a way that will bridge in hate or something way different?
Well, as you're noticing, so that's a good question. As you're noticing with us is that for our solutions, we go straight to the law book. That's what the Bible is. We go to the law book and we look at, all right, this is what it does, apply. Right?
Yeah.
So to now double back to your question, let's get, 1 Peter 4 and verse 11. Let's start there first. 1 Peter 4 and 11. First and foremost, we can't use our own words. Like in the judicial system, right? With the judges and the lawyers, do they use their own vernacular when they're dealing with the courts?
No.
No. What are they using?
The law.
They're using the law.
Yeah.
And they're very sparse in their language, right?
Yes.
They're going directly from the law. Where do you think they got that from? What do you think that's the application of? Read that.
Book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak.
If any man speaks. So one of the things that we teach in youth violence conflict resolution is how to manage your speech, how to be temperate in your speech, not just be yapping off at the gums, right? This is one of the laws that we use to help young kids be able to manage their speech so that they don't get into those conflicts. Read.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
You're supposed to speak as an oracle of God. An oracle of God means that you go back to the oracles, the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm sitting here quoting scriptures to you, but I can just paraphrase. Okay, well, you know what? It says that, if I see evil, Leviticus 5 verse 1, if I see a man sin, I'm supposed to do something. All right, brother, I have to do something about this, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
We always come from the law book. You follow?
I follow.
Right.
But as you're saying, you're following the law book. Like you've given an example of, let's say when you go to court, they'll use the law, maybe the constitution or whatever has been passed down by the parliament or whatever. I think I asked this question last time too, and I'm going to ask it right now. Like when you go and then start paraphrasing, what if the person is from a different religion or maybe is a pagan? How do you make that person understand that this is the law?
Well, I mean, not every... Exodus 20 and verse 8, I mean, I like the movie Law-Abiding Citizen. A lot of the laws that are written in here, you keep and are obligated to keep anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because actually, hold that, go to Romans 13 and verse 1. Many of the laws written in the Bible, right? Which is a compilation of books. It's just a compilation of books, right?
Yeah.
Compilation of letters. The judicial system takes from that. So guess what?
Yeah.
Youth violence, conflict resolution, just like it said in 1 Peter 4:11, we take from that and we apply. If it's good enough for the courts, if it's good enough for the judges, if it's good enough for the lawyers, it's good enough for all of that, it's good enough to make kingdoms rise again. You watch the book of Eli, right? It was good enough for them to put that in that movie and to show the importance of it. We're going to use that because, read that.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1.
Yeah, listen to that.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there's no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
Right, so it's showing you that, you know, we have over here, we have the RCMP, we have the OPP, we have the Toronto Police. All of those people are set up. They're set up. That's their role. And when you're following certain laws that they give you, oftentimes you're following biblical laws. Because, read Exodus 20 and verse, let's get 12, I think.
Book of Exodus.
Who's going to, if you go to a person, because we've been in jails, right? And you go to a person that practices Islam, Muslim, right? Is a Muslim. And you read him this. He's not going to read this. Exodus 20 and verse 12. Verse 13.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Does it say?
Thou shalt not kill.
Shall not kill.
Right. Do you adhere to that?
Yeah, thou shalt not kill.
Right? It's universal, right?
Yeah, it's universal.
It's universal, right?
Yeah. But okay, now let's go to the 10 commandments, whereby not all commandments, they're like, let's say, thou shalt not covet. It's not, in some instances whereby it doesn't even, like in some cultures, it doesn't even make sense.
What do you mean by that?
Thou shalt not covet. Let's say someone is planning to take someone's wife. In some other cultures, people do that as a way of life. How do you come now and explain to them, this is what the Bible says? Yet they know very well their culture sort of permits that.
So which cultures allows a man to take another man's wife?
I'll say like back in Africa, there's some cultures, let's say, when a man gets so broke or something, other people who are able to take care of the lady, they're able to come and take your wife away from you. So how do you approach someone like that, whereby he's not even used, like other laws, thou shalt not kill, he will understand. But thou shalt not take someone's wife is like, what are you talking about? This is my culture. How do you now start explaining that to someone like that?
Well, just like Paul did when he went to in Corinth and amongst the Gospels, there's 10 commandments, and even within the 10 commandments, you have many other sub-statutes. But when we go to certain areas, we go to and we target the issues that's going on in the community. What's the main issue? That might be an issue. Right? Because when you take a look at it, let's look at the one of the wisest kings. Proverbs, 6 and verse 32.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 32.
So taking someone's wife, right? So in that community, there might be a larger issue. The larger issue is murder. The larger issue is hatred amongst one another. A lot of African countries, that's what it is. A lot of the issues in Africa, because we were over there, is self-hatred. Hence the reason why the bleaching of the skin and all that stuff, right? Those are a little bit larger issues. So we address that. But that's not to say that some of those other things, like how you're mentioning, taking someone else's wife, really and truly, any man here, they feel a way when you have your wife and someone takes it. Why? Where does that show it? Let's read it. How do I know this is true? Read this.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
You destroy your own soul, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? Let's go to 34. So this is taking someone else's wife. Read. This is in the law book, the Proverbs. Read.
34. For jealousy is the rage of a man.
So you go and take someone else's wife. What happens?
Jealousy.
Jealousy
is the rage of a man.
That now breeds contempt in you and me.
Yeah.
He might say, oh, okay, it's cultural or whatnot, but you're looking over there, you're looking at your wife, you're looking at him, you're looking at him. Yo, why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? Right? The Proverbs or the, what do you call it, the wise sayings show that actually there's going to be content, or also known as hatred, that boils up. Read.
For jealousy is the rage of man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
At some point, he's going to want retribution. At some point.
Yeah.
At some point. Irrespective of which culture or what have you, at some point it's going to happen. We can even speak from our lens over here. You know it's going to happen. A lot of the crimes over here is over women.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but when we go out, when we go to, with youth violence conflict resolution, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, we go to what the major issues are in that community.
Yeah.
Right? So
another question is, what do you think is some of the major issues, especially in our minorities? Why are we the ones who have most of the issues? If you look at the minority communities here in North America, or even if you look at Africa, or even like our home backgrounds, wherever we are the ones who have, in my own opinion, I feel like we are the ones who suffer the most on this earth. Economically, spiritually, like I will say, in terms of trouble, we carry the biggest burden. Where do you think that comes from?
right. So just to plug your earlier episode. So some of that is in the earlier episode in terms of the image.
Yeah.
When you don't have an image, you don't have certain people to look up to. Again, that brings about what do you call it? Hopelessness, or AKA depression.
Yeah.
And then depression breeds anxiety, fear, and then all that other stuff, right? So go back to that earlier episode for that.
Yeah.
Just right. You're earlier. That's a plug.
It's a plug, yeah.
After that, 1 John 3 and verse 15, what happens with what a lot of things that goes on in our communities is that there is a lot of murder. There's actually murder on a daily basis, even in the households.
Like family-wise.
Family-wise, there's murder in the household.
Like biological.
Biological murder, yes. First-degree homicide. How do we know? Read that. Read it.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
And this is what we do when we go into the communities. We suss out, we smell what's going on, and then go to the root of it, right? Oftentimes we notice lack of image, so we give them imagery.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that breeds this. Read that.
Whosoever hateth his brother.
Whosoever does what?
Hated his brother.
Now let me ask you, within our households,
Yes.
are we all hunky-dory? Are we all happy-go-lucky?
Not really.
No, not really.
There's always something going down.
Right. What do you mean there's something going down?
There's always like even when you watch TV, most of you see like the shootings, whatever, it's always in our communities. But when now you're bringing it out, some of it is not even just in our communities. It can even happen in just one household.
In the household. Yep.
Ooh.
Even with, read it again so that we keep it on track.
Whosoever hateth his brother.
So you have hatred towards your brothers, your family members, your kin, your what have you, your people around you.
Yeah.
When you have that hatred, read,
is a murderer.
you already are plotting murder. It's already murder in your mind. The scriptures or the laws show that it's already murder.
So the thought alone is already murder.
The thought alone. And that's why we go back to purging our minds. We purge the youth's minds.
Yeah.
We reform it. Because even like if you take a look at, for example, Victoria Park, Eglinton, there's a major, social housing complex over there. A lot of our sisters in that area is, single mothers. Yeah. And the system within Toronto, just to school those that are watching from the States and what have you, and you know this, is that what you're provided is based upon the household income. Yes. So if the household income is low in those social, housing places, then they'll give you more. Now, if there's a man in the photo, if there's a husband, if there's someone daddy in there, then you don't get that money. And then you know how it is in Toronto. Right now, it's like $3,000 for a simple 1-bedroom, 1+1+ den, right?
Yeah.
So why do I go there? Read it again.
1 John 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
So oftentimes what you'll see in the households, and I can speak from it, we speak to many of your young sons or whatnot, is that you'll have the, the mom actually have ill contempt for their children.
The mother having ill content over the children.
For the children.
Her own children.
Her own children. Right? Because you have little Johnny running around, running amok. Yeah. The father's not in there because she can't have the father in there, or she might push the father out.
Yeah.
Right? She's over there losing her hair and whatnot. She has that anger or that hatred towards her son.
Yeah.
Right? So what we do is we bring light to those issues. That happens. It happens in our community. You have the one creepy uncle in the household, in the Jamaican household. Guess what? That's hatred towards you.
Yeah.
We point that out, and then we change their minds. Romans 12:2. Does that answer your question?
Answers my question.
Okay.
But the question is, like, what breeds the hatred? Like, how do we come to that point whereby we are just hating each other? Because it feels like our communities, I hate to use this term, but we are mostly like, I'll say, crab in a bucket. Like, when you try to reach, there's always someone in your community, not even a stranger, who's trying to pull your leg down. How did we even get there?
Well, it's simple, like Leviticus 19, verse 17. It's hatred because we don't even view them as our brother. Read that.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19.
We need to be able to, like, I refer to you as brother. I refer to his brothers, sisters, because that's really what it is. Right?
Yeah.
But oftentimes we don't do that. Read that.
Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So some people might have the, the vernacular of calling you, hey, you're my brother.
Yeah.
In the streets that we go to, the driftwoods, they say, hey, you're my brother, but they are not willing to correct one another.
So they'll call you brother, but they're not willing to correct each other.
This is like brother. They go like that.
Yeah.
But then they see you having sex with all these women.
Yeah.
Or see you, selling drugs on the lane.
And they won't say anything.
They won't say anything. That's not a true brother.
So a true brother should be able to correct you, however hard it is.
Read it again. Read it. Yeah.
Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So when you aren't able, or when you're too scared, yellow makes me sad, to correct your brother, the law says that you actually have hatred towards him.
Like you said, let's say my brother is selling drugs on the streets. I know he runs drugs and stuff. I know probably he's trapped. What if I'm scared? I may correct him, and the next thing is it might end up to be violent or hatred, or I may end up losing my brother.
Well, 2 Timothy 1 and verse 7, that's the one I want. First and foremost, and I think we were touching on this a little bit earlier, is that's one of the things that we need to stray away from is fear. If we had fear in youth violence, conflict resolution, we wouldn't be going to Mississippi and those places. We wouldn't be going to O Block. We wouldn't be going to Driftwood if we had that fear or allowed that fear to pan out.
Yeah.
The law says, read.
2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
You know, like self-affirmations? Do you know self-affirmations?
Yes.
Where you repeat things over and over and over again? This is one of the things that we need, that the youth need to repeat. Hey, ingrained in me, I don't truly have fear. What does it say again?
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
I don't have the spirit of fear. I don't have the spirit of fear. I don't have the spirit of fear. I don't have the spirit of fear. What I do have the spirit of in my body is what?
But of power.
We have power to be able to go to the driftwoods, the lanes, read.
Yeah. And love.
And love to go to Malton, read.
And of a sound mind.
Your mind is sound, as sound. So you're not going to and fro. You know what square you stand on.
Yeah.
You know that, like, what you're asking about is a valid point, because we go to certain areas and people don't receive it as quickly.
Yeah.
Right? They don't receive it as quickly. However, there's certain ways to govern ourselves to reduce that spirit of fear as well as to get through to our people.
Yeah.
One, like we mentioned, or we were reading a little bit earlier, is that we come straight from the law book.
Yeah.
Right? Two, we look at them as our brother and our sister, and we correct them. And three, Ezekiel 3 and verse 7. We do this. Because when we're speaking to, when we're going to our communities, we can't go, hey guys, don't kill. Hey, this is conflict resolution. Yeah. We can't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. In Kenya, we don't speak like that. Jamaica, we don't speak like that. Ghana, we don't speak like that.
Yeah.
We speak like this. This is what happens. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17.
7.
Verse 7. But the house of Israel.
No. Is that it?
17.
No, that's not that. That's not the one I want. 8.
Verse 8.
3 and 8.
Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
So when we go to these places, we know that some people might not receive it. Some people, they thrive off of the decadence of our community.
There's someone making probably money through the troubles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You have more on that?
Yeah. Because I've in the community I used to live by, we used to live next to a serious drug pusher.
Okay. Yep.
But at the end of the day, when they were trying to get rid of him, they figured out he has like 10 people who are working under him. So the reason why he wasn't touched is that people were feeding off him. They're like, we can't put all these people on the streets. Yes, what they're doing is bad, but what's the other option? Like, okay, fine, we'll stop selling drugs. And then, okay, now, what's the replacement?
Okay, so they were complicit with him. They were complicit.
Like, we can stop it, but what are we going to eat now? Where are we going to get our daily bread? Because we know in some of our communities, there's no jobs.
Yep.
There's literally nothing. The only way they can survive, which actually to me, it's still a mystery. There's money for drugs and alcohol, but there's always no money for food.
Exactly. So what does that show you?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Show you that our minds are just corrupted. We put the money into the, what do you call it, the Patrons and whatnot, Glenlivet, as opposed to other things.
But now how do you come to help someone like that? Like, okay, fine, what's now the other way? How do I sustain my lifestyle, or how do I pay my bills? Because if I stop doing this, I don't have any other option. What do I go to now?
Well, first and foremost, because the initial one was, okay, all right, so let's say they're being angry and whatnot too.
Yeah.
Our law book says when we go in there, we're not all mealy mouth, right? We're professional, but we do what? Read.
Verse 8. Ezekiel 3, verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
You're supposed to come in there with an austere presentation.
Explain more. What's an austere presentation?
Like what you're like right now is austere. Yeah. Like we're not supposed to be like all laughy. No, there's problems in our community. Like the men that we are, we come in there, austere, our face is solemn. Yeah. Okay, this is where you're erring. This is where you're erring, Jake.
Yeah.
This is where you're erring, Aaron. This is where you're going off, Stacy.
Yeah.
Serious like that. That sternness. Because that's how we treat our children. That's how we interact with our children. When our children are going off and doing wrong, we don't Well, before we wouldn't be we'd be very stern.
Yeah.
Right? The scripture says that. Read.
And thy forehead strong against their foreheads.
And your forehead strong, because guess what? You're going to be met with resistance because there might be pushers in the community too.
Yeah.
Read. Is there anything else?
Yes. Verse 9. As an adamant, harder than flint, I have made thy forehead.
Right. So that's the reason why we don't have fear when we go into those communities, irrespective of 90% of them want the change and the 10% doesn't. Like it says in the book, right? And what we push in youth violence is, hey, just be austere according to the scriptures, and you'll be okay. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Now, in terms of what you're mentioning a little bit earlier, in terms of like, okay, many of our communities, we don't have money and all that jazz. Luke 4:4. The thing is, the first step is change. We have to change. We have to change. Because you give to Tommy that all he knows is drugs and pushing drugs and selling it to his people and beating up people on the corner. You give him $1 million, what do you think he's going to do?
Still going to use it on drugs.
He's going to he might use that to make an empire.
Empire of drugs.
He's like the Don. No, we can't do that. That's crazy. We can't do that. That's ludicrous. What did it say?
Luke 4, verse 4.
This is where we first start off. You first start. Read.
And Jesus answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God.
So, we're not supposed to only live by just our stomach, to satiate our stomachs, but we're supposed to live by the laws that is actually put in this book. That's how you start off a community.
That's the basis.
That's the basis. If you don't have that, I can give you $100,000. You blow it next week. You bought a Lamborghini. You bought what do you call it? A Tesla X. You gave it to Elon Musk. You just gave the money back. Right?
Yeah.
You're just a poor person. You just a poor person in the projects with a Tesla X. That's it.
So there's nothing really special with you. You're just a poor person with a nice car.
With a nice car. That's now after some after some time, because electricity and all that stuff, you're going to get broke after some time. You're going to go back to doing the filth that was once done.
But now, how do you prevent? Like, even you have seen some of our communities whereby, actually, where I grew up, it wasn't like the best of the best places, but we used to see people who are pushers driving the best cars, and with time they became the role models. How do you prevent that now from happening? Because now you're seeing pushers driving good cars. There are kids in the neighborhood who are now looking at them like, of course, as kids, they're like, when I grow up, I want to have a nice car. And the person with a nice car in the neighborhood is a pusher.
Okay. But let me ask you.
Yeah.
Once he does that, when he gets the nice AMG Mercedes, is he like a quote-unquote good person?
In the eyes of the community, probably he may not be. Okay, I don't know about Toronto that much, but in Kenya, they say you don't push where you stay. So they'll push somewhere else, but where they live, they don't push. But everyone knows they're pushers. But everyone looks at them as the role models because you have the car. Because I know in some places whereby it doesn't matter how you get there. The point is you have to just get there. Like the means doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You only live once.
You only live once.
You only live once.
Yeah.
Well, according to our law book, you don't only live once, and it's not good for the community when you have that short-term, what do you call it? Not short-term memory, but you're only looking for short-term benefits as opposed to long-term.
Yeah.
When you go back to our law, read Luke 16 and verse 15. Read Luke 16 and verse 15. It says that we're not supposed, like those certain things, if we knew our laws and if you attend enough youth violence conflict resolution seminars and actually take it in and apply it, you'll start to be able to look through the lens of the world in a different fashion that will avoid or refrain you from falling into those pitfalls of esteeming people that have the flashy cars and whatnot as someone, but really they're not providing to the communities. They're actually acting as a detriment.
Yeah.
What does it say? Luke 16, verse 15.
Book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before man.
Right, because I used to listen to Biggie. Right? Who here listened to Biggie?
Everyone has listened to Biggie.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't remember the exact lyrics.
Yeah.
I kind of tried to push it, but basically, I think it was his Sky is the Limit. And he was basically going over like how he got to where he was. And he says, I did that for my daughter.
Yeah.
I did all that wrong. I slang all that crack and all that dope.
Yeah.
But don't judge me. Don't blame me because it was for my daughter. He was doing what? Read. Justa.
And ye are they which justify yourselves before men.
You justify yourself. Well, the reason why I have to, push mad weight is because I live in the slums. Because my daughter needs to eat. That's not a good thing. That's not. But
the daughter needs to eat.
Yes. As does my daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has to push. What other ways? Does he get now money? Because like you said, the example of Biggie, the only thing he knew was to rap. And that's the line he could come up with. Like someone like Biggie now, how do you now prevent that from happening in the first place?
You just don't do it. You know those laws. Like, you remember how we brought out. Actually, finish that off first. Finish it.
But God knows your hearts.
For
that
because He knows you're like. Because a lot of those people that justify themselves, they really know that there's other ways.
So deep down, they know there's.
We know. Like we're wise to do wrong. We're wise to do bad things.
Yeah.
Right. You know, little Trayvon, little Trevor. He's over there cooking up stuff. If you give him the right imagery and the right correction, and be surrounded with the right people, guess what? Just like he's cooking up whatever he's cooking up in the lab, he's able to cook that up in his community and establish jobs, establish himself, be an image, be a vision. He's able to do it. We are very innovative people. Yeah. But in our hearts, what does it say again?
Ye justify yourselves before men.
You justify. You say, okay, well, that's the reason I do this just to feed my family. Okay, so why do you have a $100,000 vehicle in your parking lot? Is that feeding your family?
No.
An AMG, a Mercedes AMG?
No.
No, you're justifying. Read.
For that, but God knows your hearts.
He knows your real mind, that you're really just covetous. You just really want to be up on it. I just really want to be up on Moses. Yeah. Because I see Moses with a silver chain. I'm like, nah, I have hatred towards him. Yeah. I want a 24-karat gold chain. Right?
So it all goes back down to jealousy.
Jealousy and hatred of our family. Continue reading. Read.
For that which is highly esteemed among men.
So those people that are the dons in our community, right? That the Jay-Z's, the Rihanna, and it's pushing a certain vibration, a certain image that actually goes against our customs. Those that are highly esteemed amongst us is what?
It's abomination in the sight of God.
It's actually an abomination. It's a vile, detestable thing according to our Creator. And it's a vile and detestable thing in our community because it doesn't help our community.
For sure, it doesn't help. But the thing is now, like, in our community, those are the majority. Like, you don't find youth violence, conflict resolution seminar everywhere. It's just like one or two here. And even if they're there, one, they don't have the right resources. But when you look at these other guys, they have all the resources they need. The TVs are behind them. The radio stations are behind them. Social media are behind them. Yeah. With this episode, we don't know. We've mentioned Jay-Z. We don't know if we'll be cancelled. So
you can bleep it up.
You don't know if that's going to happen. But now, from our standpoint of view, how do we become more influential? Because in our society, the other side is more influential. They are the majority. They may not be the most influential, but I can bet if I turn on my TV right now, it will be someone who's doing something. Probably, if I have a daughter, I don't want her to see that. Yeah. But how do I prevent that? Because I can prevent that. I think we talked about it. Another plug last time.
The last plug that episode, the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is a part 2.
Right.
How do I even prevent that? Because right now, it's like the whole system is against me. It's not like I have youth violence and conflict resolution seminar everywhere. But how do we continue building like that, whereby there's more options for our children? Because when they look, sometimes the only option is just the Jay-Z. The only option is just the Rihanna. They have never seen anything else aside from that. So it has come to a point whereby it's now a lifestyle.
A person that has justified themselves. Yeah. Because, like you mentioned, is that might be the quote unquote majority. But remember, read Revelation 1, I believe is 3. Let's see that. Read. What we need to do as a community is we need to come back to reading. That's the reason why we'll go over certain verses. We'll give us certain literature when we do our seminars. We'll pull out certain historical books for people to read because it's commanded. Once you're reading and taking things in, you realize that actually there's more of us than there is of them. Read that.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he. Everyone says that they're blessed. No. When you get the blessings, when you're reading this historical book and applying it. So one of the steps is reading. We go out there and we read about this and read other ancillary books that also corroborate that. When we take a look at history, historically speaking, people that are rising up for the community, right? Yeah. Are they the majority or are they the minority?
They're mostly the minority.
They're the minority.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They are the minority. Like the Abraham Traoré, right?
Yeah.
The Nelson Mandela before he went into jail, right? You have the Malcolm X's, all that sort of stuff. You have certain revolutionary people, right? Yeah. Again, what we're pulling away from conflict. We're just using that as an example. So you're going to have people that rise up for the people, right?
Yeah.
Once that happens, now the people have a vision. So although you might see only youth violence conflict resolution in Toronto and Edmonton and Montreal, after some time, guess what? Zephaniah 2 and verse 1, what happens is people see that imagery and they say, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
I've been flat on my face for X amount of years. My children is oppressing me. Yeah. I'm being oppressed at school. Let me do something about that. What's one of those steps? Read.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Gather yourselves together.
You start to see those numbers coming in. And before, there was only a couple of us that came here. Now you see, even my brother over there.
Yeah, Andre.
Yeah. There's many of us. And there's more. And there's more. When you read history, is that it's people that practice conflict resolution and restoring the community were always looked at as negative. That's why it's beneficial to read. Can I give you one example? Acts 17. Acts 17 and verse 5. So within youth violence conflict resolution, sometimes we'll paraphrase certain things. Sometimes when it comes to our book, sometimes we'll give you additional books that shows even more history, right, that coincides with this. But let's give you one of those historical events. Read that.
Book of Acts chapter 17, verse 5.
Mm-hmm. Listen to this, my sister.
But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy.
Mm-hmm. Moved with envy. That's envious, covetousness. Read.
Took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people.
So sometimes you will have people when we're non-confrontational. We'll confront, but we use crisis de-escalation measures to ensure that there isn't any trades to blows. But there are people around that want to do us harm. Yeah. Right? There are people around that want to do our communities harm, just like this. Read 6.
Verse 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason. And
when they found those people that want to change those communities, when they couldn't find those people, those youth violence conflict resolution people, the Moseses, read.
Yeah. They drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down.
So it's showing you how important, as you might perceive as small numbers. Guess what? Youth violence conflict resolution seminars, as well as you, because you're hosting us and you're pushing that same image with this.
Yes.
These small people, guess what, are turning this world right side up. You don't need many people. Just need a couple.
Guys, right now you're watching Moussa and Friends. And on that note, we are just going to take a short break and we'll be back. And when we get back, we are going to discuss more on prevention is better than cure. We want to fix our society. So we want to go back to the basics. Where does it begin? Where does it end? And how do we improve ourselves? Don't forget to click subscribe and follow. My name is Moses. Thank you for watching Moussa and Friends.